podcast.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Jet Bets, the gambling podcast. I'm Brian Stein, joined as usual by JB and Charlie. It is officially week 3 now. It is Tuesday, September 20th, and week 2 was a rough one all around.
Yeah. Was all right on the board, but not for my actual bets or my wallet or just anything involving my interest in football.
I'm actually the opposite. My wallet is great. My picks were shite, but my bets were pretty good.
Yeah. So this was a good lead-in because I was the opposite. My board was good. I was the best this week. I went 9-7, but my bankroll is depleted. I'm going to have to go take out a second mortgage on the house because I just had an absolute terrible week. But the board went 9-7. JB went 8-8. Charlie went 6-10. None of our locks hit. All 3 locks lost. Terrible. There's only been 1 lock hit so far this season. So,
who was it?
Me.
Yeah, it was JB last week. I don't know who you had it last week.
It was the Ravens.
Oh, it was the Ravens. That's right. So we're gonna continue to keep track of every pick. We're gonna continue to talk about every game, but we've done this already, and I think most people have caught on to this, that our parlay legs are the ones that we're probably going to put the most money on. I admittedly, hand up, I don't always parlay. I don't actually put money on my parlay.
I very rarely parlay my foe for sure these days anymore.
But I always bet every leg individually.
Oh, I always, yeah.
So
definitely.
it's like, so what we're going to start doing is we'll keep track of the large big number because that's a fun number to look at. But we're also going to start keeping track of our parlay picks. And as Charlie said, he's the leader in that house right now. He is 4-2 over the first 2 weeks from his parlay legs. JB's 2-6. I'm 1-5. So we're really learning where the money is being made. So I think this is a good way to jump into week 3 here. So I don't even want to start with this week 1 game. The Browns are at home on Thursday night against the Steelers. Total's 38.5. Can we just say fuck this game and move on? Because I am broken. The Steelers broke me this week.
Yeah, it was a tough matchup. It was a tough match against the Patriots. I thought it was a very winnable game, but I have to keep going with what Charlie's saying. There's not one team I think the Browns are that significantly favored to.
I'm sorry. Did I even say the line? It was 5.5.
Yes.
Did I say that, or did I black out?
I can't remember. If
You
you
did
said
not say it.
It is minus 5.5. Yesterday it was minus 3. It jumped 2.5 points by yesterday.
It's 4.5 now,
It's 4.5 now.
according
All
to
right.
FanDuel
We
right
will-
now.
Damn, that number is jumping.
It's moving around. They don't know what they want. We will officially move this to 4.5.
And 38.5 is the total.
Okay, which is what it was at. Yeah, 4. Yep. Okay, so we are addressing as it's 4.5 now, which I like a little bit better. Well, I guess I like worse because we're gonna take the Steelers.
I'm taking the Steelers.
If you guys have listened to this podcast even once when I've been on it, I tell you guys literally every episode, you will be rich if you bet against the Browns against the spread. They were, especially with Baker when they had all those weapons, OBJ, Landry, they were one of the most overhyped teams ever. And I personally made a lot of money betting against them. I told you guys, take the Jets. The Browns are not 6.5 points better than any other professional football team. And what happened? They lost outright. The Browns their way into losing. They blew a 2-touchdown lead with like less than 2 minutes left. That's literally the Browns. That's what they are. Don't overthink it. 4.5 points is, I'm not going to do it, but it is a very secure thing that you put on a door to keep it shut.
A latch?
Yes, it's a
Latch
latch.
it up?
It's a latch that you need a key to open.
You know, you would not be totally far off here. I just pulled up the Browns' last 10 games. They're 4-6 against the spread. So if you bet against them every single time, you would be plus money. So you're not far off here. You know, I think the 3 of us sitting at this table, we know that the Steelers here are just the offense is not clicking. The defense definitely misses TJ, but Minka still looked good. He had an interception. There are rumblings. Everybody's trying to fire the offensive coordinator. I wouldn't be against that, but I don't think they're going to do that midseason. That doesn't just seem like what the Steelers do. So this may be something we have to gut out. 4.5 points. I would have preferred 5. Honestly, the over is a little tantalizing if I'm telling the truth. 38.5 just seems so low.
Never bet the over in a Steelers game. I'm telling everybody this.
I guess so.
My buddy had like a full parlay, like just being like, I'm like, I like this bet, but You can't bet Steelers overs. You just can't.
Yeah, it's not meant to be. I'm going to take the Steelers plus points. It's an easy thing to root for. Browns aren't 4.5 points spread anybody. You're right.
Thank you.
I'm very scared because now today is Tuesday, September 20th, and Charlie's the voice of reason on this podcast.
Guys.
It's not your role.
I'm a Yinzer. He's a homer. He says all the stuff. He likes the Steelers, per Manny's. I'm telling you.
I'm just saying real quick, Minkah Fitzpatrick is 50-1 odds for Defensive Player of the Year. I feel like that's...
He's hot on a hot start.
Yeah.
He is.
Worth a tenner.
Worth a tenner.
Micah Parsons is the number one.
Sevener.
Micah Parsons is number one for Rookie of the Year, or for Defensive Player of the Year. I think that's fair, but I think Minkah should be much closer than 50-1 odds at this point.
2 picks in 2 games, plus a pick 6 in there too, so...
They didn't give us a TJ for 4 years when he deserved it 4 years in a row. They're not going to give it to another
TJ's still
Steeler.
higher in odds right now with him going to be missing 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, no way, really?
Yes.
That's actually kind of crazy.
I think you got to sprinkle a little bit of money on Steelers defense anytime touchdown because we're good for one of those against the Browns all the time.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Let's get through this week. Dub.
Uh-huh.
Let's get through next week with the Jets.
Okay.
Dub. TJ will be back soon. We're floating around. We'll be 3-1 if we win both those games this week and next week.
Yeah.
3-1 through 4 games.
With
no TJ.
Honestly, I'd be happy with 2-2 at this point.
Okay,
the way this
even if
offense is going.
Yeah, we'll be good.
We did we just recorded Jet Set, our fantasy football podcast, and we had a whole segment of panic button, 1 to 10, 10 being you're slamming it, 1 being it's buried in a closet, somewhere down the river. I'm at like a 4 with the Steelers right now.
Too high.
Too high.
I know we spent a lot of time on this already, but I want to give you one thing to think about.
Okay, please.
That game against the Patriots looked bad.
Yep.
Both teams looked bad.
True.
Nobody looked good. We didn't get outplayed. I would not say we got outplayed.
Okay, that's fair.
We got Nelson Aguilar making a crazy catch over great coverage by Witherspoon.
It was good coverage.
Okay,
very
so
good coverage.
let's take that away. Well, not take it away, but take that into consideration. And then you have Gunnar Olszewski doink off his own helmet. You got to think maybe Belichick slipped him a little bit of how are you? You got to think insider trading. But take those two gaffes away, we win the game. I know that's how football goes, but don't panic about it.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. It's not like we got embarrassed by an inferior team.
No.
I love it when the Steelers have a primetime game because then I can just have Red Zone on for the 1 o'clocks.
It's fantastic. Having exclusive Red Zone on is so nice.
I think that's what heaven is like, is to have the Steelers play on Thursday night and then you just have Red Zone on for 1 o'clock. I think that when I die and go to heaven, that's what.
This is great for me because Steelers play on Thursday and then Giants play on Monday.
Ew.
Oh, you're living.
Yeah. Oh, I'm having a great week.
Yeah, I've been. We're already off the rails. My move is always Steeler game on the TV, and then iPad has the Red Zone, and then sometimes I'll bring in the laptop if there's a really good 1 o'clock game that's on regular TV too.
Oh
and
wow!
I'll do the
triple screen.
I'll do it. I'm not afraid to do it. My wife hates it. She doesn't like. She gets overstimulated, is what she says. So everything has to be on mute except the main TV, which I can understand.
Nightmare.
Like, if you're not looking at it, like
wait till I see Kelly again.
Yeah, you'll never see her again. As long as she's right upstairs.
Steelers number 1 in the division. Now
is that true?
Yes.
I mean, tied for first, but
we have a tie. We have a division win.
We do.
Ravens don't have one.
Yeah. Okay. All right. I feel calmer again.
Good.
I feel calmer
again. Now Baltimore goes to New England, 3-point favorites.
Oh, what a tranny! Oh, wait.
Oh, you better watch.
What a transition! Oh boy. Okay.
How about I get you out of this, Brian?
Okay, please.
I'm going back to the Ravens well and locking this game.
Oh my God, what is happening? I might have to actually.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Trying to get us back on the rails here.
Shit. Oh no, I canceled.
I don't understand. The Ravens take an unfortunate loss, putting up 40 points against the Dolphins, and now against a Patriots team that just snuck their win by the Steelers. They're only getting 3 points. I get it, they're away, but who cares? Is that going to Foxborough with Belichick? Is that still weighing that heavy on people, even though this is the worst Patriots team I've seen in years?
Yeah, I'm with you on this, man. I really honestly believe that the Patriots are not good, which is why it was so frustrating for the Steelers to lose to them. And the Ravens are great. I mean, the Ravens, it was a tale of two halves in that game, but it was still their offense looked great. Lamar Jackson threw for 300 yards, 3 touchdowns, no picks, ran for another 100 yards. That was against the Miami defense that is okay. It's probably better than the Patriots defense, right?
Yes.
So one could maybe even say that he may have a better day than that. He's hitting on all cylinders. That offense looks really good. The Patriots are struggling. This is going to be a blowout. I think you're right. I'm riding the Ravens at -3 here too. This seems really, really, really off.
I thought the same thing about the game last week too. So I'm like a little bit nervous
About
but
our game?
I thought that about our game last week. Yes, I'm like, why are we home dogs to the Patriots? They stink. Like they're like I couldn't name a single player on their defense other than Matthew Judon.
Yeah.
But I mean, clearly that's not how it worked out. But I love the Ravens here, taking the Ravens, no doubt. A theme with this week that I'm going to talk about as we go through the games is like this is kind of like where like the ship finds its level.
Yeah,
You know, like
water finds its level, yep.
sure, well ships are on water.
Yeah, they are. That's fact. Yeah.
You know, it's like there's going to be a get right. You're going to kind of see where the true measure of the teams will kind of come out.
Yeah.
2 games in, you've had enough on-field time. Things are going to click. I think this is going to be where we see the Ravens really take a step and the Patriots really take a step.
Yeah, this is all.
Yep.
I always really like good teams coming off bad losses in the next week after. It just like feels like they have something to play for. They feel like they kind of got screwed over some scenario or the other.
Yeah.
So the Ravens are the one to fit this. Like they put 40 points up and ended up having a bad loss because 2 at a time got them, and now they're just going to go to this absolute piss poor Patriots team. And I don't care about Belichick at home these days anymore. Like Belichick can only get this team so far.
I think Belichick might be losing some of his magic. I really am starting to believe that because whatever's going on with his team is kind of crazy. Like, sure, they won last week, everything like that, all that shit, but the bones of this team is not good. Like the run game isn't looking very good. Like Damian Harris, Ramondre Stevenson, like they've underperformed. Mac Jones is taking a step backwards. I would think is safe to say. Mm-hmm. Defense, like we said, is aging and is not improving, and I think some of that magic is wearing off. I think it's already been very clear that there was always a discussion of was it Brady or was it Belichick? Where was that split?
That split is fallen one direction right now.
It's got to be at this point. It's got to be 70-30.
Yeah,
Tom, right? In terms of like responsibility of that dynasty, 70-30 Tom Brady.
I don't know about that because Brady was so good because they had like top 10 defenses like the whole time that he was
That's
there.
fair.
So without that defense and knowing that if you mess up, you're going to get the ball right back, is that magic still there?
I would say yes because he also how many MVPs did he have? I mean he dominated like the 2010s.
I mean, yeah, but again, how much of that is because he only had to score 11 points to win a game.
Yeah,
he scored more than that, but all he had to do.
Yeah, only had to, but was still scoring 30.
Right.
So what's fair?
I don't want to take all the blame away from or the praise away from Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
I also heard a funny comparison today between Belichick and Saban. So Saban's known for like bringing back his old assistants when they like mess up real bad and like give them jobs. Like, oh, when's he going to bring back Scott Frost and whatever.
Right.
Belichick kind of doing that this year with Joe Judge and Patricia.
Yeah.
But it's not working out at all. And the reason is because Alabama can get all the best players they want.
Yeah.
And the Patriots, salary cap, whatever else factors there are. But it is interesting to think about comparison.
It is. And wasn't there something that like for so many years it was like they were every other? It was like in the evens, the Patriots won the Super Bowl.
Bama would win.
The odds and Bama won the odds. It's very weird. I tried to avoid it. I have to press this button because we're back to back now. The 2 sweeps in a row. 2 AFC North sweeps.
Can I give you another smooth transition?
Yeah,
Speaking of Nick Saban, Miami Dolphins are plus 5.5.
Former head coach. Great transition there, Charles.
Yes,
Great
thank you.
Yeah, they're home dogs plus 5.5 against the Bills. Total here is 51.5. This sucks. This is on the 1 o'clock slate because this is the game of the entire week.
I believe so too.
The total is actually 53.5.
53.5. I was going to say I was going to
in real time
with it like looking like the over is the one getting pounded right now.
Real time up 2 points since you last checked. 53.
That's crazy.
0.5.
Still 5.5 at the spread.
5.5. Yes.
The Dolphins looked unstoppable. What was your stat you said on Jet Set about the two receivers?
Oh, yeah. There's never been a duo of receivers in NFL history that both went for over 150 yards and 2 touchdowns in a single game.
Really?
And yep, and then the final total was 220 or 22 catches, 361 yards, 4 touchdowns between those two.
Yeah, that's crazy. And it was like it was split down the middle. They both had 11 catches. They both had 2 touchdowns, and it was like 170.
I think it was like 190 to 160 or something like that.
Crazy.
Tua throwing 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter to win a football game.
Yeah.
Did you hear about the last quarterback to do that?
Was it Big Ben?
Nick Wright was on. I think it was the Herd with Coward, and he was like, yeah, let's all crown Tua now because he threw 4 touchdowns and won the game in the fourth quarter. The last guy to do that is another guy we hold in such high regard, Sage Rosenfels. And he was like, pump the brakes. Tua's still not who you think he is. He
really
beat a
dug
bunch
that
of
one out
blown
of there.
coverage. Yeah, but
I mean,
little stat there, Sage Rosenfels.
okay, so let's lean for your pick here. Are you on the Sage Rosenfeld train, or do you think that Tua is legit?
I think the Bills are really, 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 really good. I wrote down the Dolphins plus 5.5, but I don't know if I actually want to do that now that I'm talking about it out loud. The Bills look so good. Like, they're throttling teams that are better than the Dolphins. Like, the Rams, I think, are better than the Dolphins, and they murdered them.
That's
but
fair.
it was week 1. You never know.
Yeah.
But then, was it last night?
Yeah.
Yes.
Monday night. Yep.
Yeah, so then they beat up on the Titans, who were supposed to have an okay defense.
Titans stink. I'm out on the Titans.
Titans,
Right, now I
Titans are
am.
looking rough
Yeah.
right now.
Were you before last night?
No, I did take them plus 10 just because I thought
Right.
that they would, keep it close.
So I'm not going to be fooled by the Bills again. I bet against them 2 weeks in a row and got murdered, so I'm going to take Bills minus 5.5.
Yeah, I'm with you. I said last week on the show, I will bet the Bills until further notice. So you don't even have to go to me. Like, until the Bills don't cover, I'm not taking anybody but the Bills.
Ride the
Like,
wave.
I'm breaking our pact here. I'm taking
you?
taking the Dolphins plus 5.5. We were talking about it on Jet Set. The thing that really has impressed me is that we all kind of knew that you were going to get a Shanahan-esque system in Miami because that was where Mike McDaniels came from. When you think of that, you think, okay, it's West Coast, but it's really run the ball first. And when you think about how they're winning these games, they're not doing that. Chase Edmonds had like 50 yards. I think, Raheem Mostert had 50 yards. Chase Edmonds had 30 yards. Like, they're not grounding and pounding, but they're taking that West Coast style, and they essentially combined the system of the 49ers with the Chiefs' athleticism, and it's beautiful. It is a chef's kiss out there. They're looking great. Even when they were behind and they were struggling a little bit, they were still making big plays, big chunk plays. They're moving the ball down the field. This is a home dog. The Bills are not going to go 17-0. This is going to be a loss for them. I'm taking the Dolphins plus 5.5. They can't win every game. I think the Bills are still the best team in the NFL, but this is a divisional game plus 5.5 points. It's too many points.
For the sake of us not sweeping, I'm glad you didn't pick the Bills.
Oh, yeah, because our sweeps have terrible records.
Yeah.
I didn't go back.
But
I didn't check our sweeps yet.
You still big dummy.
Can you
Against
imagine the
Bills.
reaction if Tua goes and Tua beats Josh Allen? And
You won't
the
hear the
Bills?
end of it from me.
Like,
I'll
it would
be on here.
nuts.
Because you lost your bet, you big dummy.
And I'm not going to be.
That does hurt. Okay.
I'm not
Well,
gonna
it
be
looks
on
like
the
I
end of
win
that.
on any chance anyway this game.
You're losing both ways. I hope that we have like a direct feed for this game because it's going to be a fucking awesome game. It's going to be. That's the other thing too is that maybe the Bills do win this game, but I think this is a field goal game. I think this is just like what we talked about with the Chargers and the Chiefs last week. We weren't really betting on the Chargers to win. We were betting on the hook. We took the 3.5 because it felt like it was a divisional game. It was two of the best teams. We're kind of getting that again, and this is the real litmus test for the Dolphins. I think to really see if they can keep it close, keep competitive with this Bills team that's just smacking the shit out of people.
We'll see, but my money is much safer in the hands of Josh Allen than it is Tua.
That's fair. You just don't like lefties.
That is true. Lefties are burned at the stake.
Although you were a big Mike Vick fan, so
Huge Mike Vick fan.
but
One of the biggest people might say.
people might say that. The Panthers and the Saints were not Mike Vick fans because they got destroyed by them because they were interdivision rivals.
Nice.
But they are playing each other. The Panthers are at home, another home dog, +3 against the Saints. The total here is 40.5, if that's still in lifetime and correct.
Correct, it is.
This seems almost too easy again. The Panthers are in shambles. DJ Moore has had back-to-back weeks with 3 catches for 19 yards. Luckily, he had a touchdown to save his fantasy day if you had him in your fantasy leagues. But Baker Mayfield is still trying to figure it out over there. Christian McCaffrey finally broke 100 yards, but this team has not looked good. I know they're at home and it's a divisional game. I think the Saints are just miles better, even though they struggled and lost against the Buccaneers last week. So I'm going to take the Saints -3 here and not really feel bad about it at all.
I want the Panthers.
After everything I just said.
It was just so. He didn't have any reasoning. He didn't have anything. It was
Fuck
just
you, Brian.
just immediately like, yeah, fuck you, Brian. I'm picking the opposite.
I want the Panthers. You big dumb idiot. You. No, I think 2 points I want to make about this game. One, this should be a really nice, aesthetically pleasing uniform game. Mm-hmm. Love Carolina. I love the Saints uniforms. They're really, really nice. So watch out for that.
Okay.
I'm just taking points. I think the Saints are not good. The Panthers are not good. So I'll take the free field goal. I don't feel great about it. I don't have anything to like come back at you with the stats and the facts you provided. I just want the free points.
That's pretty fair for a divisional matchup.
Right.
You don't have us down yet. Are you going to take the over?
I'm not.
Okay.
I think I'm going to go with the Saints here. I just like what I've seen from the Saints a little bit more. I think they should have Alvin Kamara back this week. I like what the Saints are as of right now than the Panthers, which the Panthers are literally right now just looking like dog ass.
Yeah.
So can I chime in there?
Please.
You like what you've seen from the Saints so far, so you like them almost losing to the worst roster in the NFL with Atlanta week 1, and then you like them putting up 3 points for the majority of the game against the Buccaneers in week 2? Or what's... Just want to know cite your source on what you think is good about them.
I think Jameis is playing decently besides the 3 picks.
It's a fair question.
I think they have good offensive weapons. I think they have a good running back. I think the defense is still okay. I actually think the Panthers' defense might be better, but I might be leaning into the youth that the Panthers have right now, if we're being honest. So I might want to bet this under, but I think right now I just trust the Saints just a wee bit more.
Fair enough.
Man, you come out swinging today.
No, you can't say that and be like, well, I like what I've seen from them. What? Almost losing to the Atlanta?
Yeah, but we've also seen the Saints lose those games 1,000 times, and they didn't lose it this time. So, and
wow.
hot take, the Falcons might be the best 0-2 team we've ever seen.
Oh my
Ever seen?
The Bengals are 0-2.
Okay, that's true. One of. I said one of. Oh, fuck. The Colts are +6.5 and also dead in the water against the Chiefs. 49.5 is the total here. 49.5?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
What? The Colts are coming off maybe one of the worst performances I've ever seen. I mean, and that's considering they tied the week before. They had no receivers, they had no weapons, but Matt Ryan had a terrible game, a terrible performance. 3 interceptions, no touchdowns, less than 200 yards. It was. Where's 49.5? Do we just have to take the under here?
Yeah, no, I wrote the Chiefs. I'm changing it to the under.
Is that? Can you confirm that stat again, still for me, please? Because make sure it's still 49.5.
Yep, just checked it. 49.5.
God, that's just.
Yeah, I'm literally changing mine to the under.
I don't care if
I don't
Pittman
see where
and Pierce come back next week.
I don't
It's still
see where
under.
the Colts are like getting all these points. Like this is gonna have to be like a 40 to this got to be like a 40 to 10 route.
Yeah, there's no way that happens, right? This seems like a huge miss by Vegas.
I'm going to go I don't think that this is the right way to say this, but I'm going to take the Chiefs in the points. I want 6.5.
-6.5.
Yeah, correct. -6. Well, no, I want +6. If I can get it, I'll take Chiefs
Yeah.
+6.5.
Not how the
Odds
show
aren't
works.
great, but you can get it.
But I always take whoever's playing the Chiefs because they never win close games. Right? Yeah, they always seem to keep games close when they shouldn't.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But this is the week to get everything figured out. This Colts team looks horrific. And
That
it
whole
might be
AFC
recency bias.
Might
Maybe.
be.
But again, I'll go to sleep comfy knowing that I took the Chiefs' powerhouse offense against the Colts And I don't want to take any unders this year. I'm avoiding all the unders.
Oh, yeah?
They make me icky. Yeah, I don't like them.
I don't like him either, but you talked me out of the one last week, and the Chiefs game, you talked me out of that under, and that hit. I mean, the Chargers also covered. So
Barely.
Barely still pays out, my friend. Barely still pays
Whatever you
out.
say. Give me the Chiefs.
All right, you got the Chiefs. 2 unders in the Chiefs bet here. I'm kind of glad that game's stuck in the 1 o'clockers. Oh boy, I just looked at this and my stomach just turned. The Vikings are -5.5 against the Lions. The total here is 52.5. I've been on the Vikings train and was just thoroughly frustrated by their performance on Monday night. I really, truly believed in my heart of hearts that I zagged when everybody else zigged here, and I did not do so good.
Yep.
And now I'm shocked that this divisional matchup has a 5.5 point spread after the Lions just beat. Who did they beat?
Commanders.
The Commanders in a pretty good showing.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody talk me out of this. JB, you go first.
No, I'm picking the Lions. I'm picking the Lions all freaking day in this. Lions can be competitive with every single team, it seems like, in this league. And now we're in a division game, which is just throw everything out the window with the division game.
Yep.
They are going to Minnesota, which isn't great, but I really like what this Lions team. They're the number 2 scoring team in the entire NFL right now. I know it's only through 2 weeks, but who thought that was going to be a sentence
Nobody.
ever?
Yeah.
Goff looks more than serviceable. Yeah, I would damn near say he's been looking good recently. DeAndre Swift is a menace. Amon-Ra St. Brown is maybe one of the best receivers that not a whole lot of people know about.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown is not a household name, but if you're a big...
He's getting there. I think Hard Knocks helped him a little bit.
Hard Knocks helped. Him being very good in fantasy recently has helped, but he's just such a good player, dude. Since USC, that dude has just been a baller from Jump Street.
Yeah. Yeah, he's been great. Lions.
I love the Lions.
Love them.
+5.5.
Okay.
I don't know if there's a coach I trust more on planet Earth to get his team, other than Mike Tomlin.
I was going to say, wait a
other
minute.
than Mike Tomlin,
Hold
to
on.
get his team ready for a divisional game. Sprinkle on top the fact that they're dogs, 5.5 point underdogs. He's going to be screaming, "They're giving us 5.5 points to come in here." He's going to have them all riled up. The Vikings did not look good against
the Eagles.
Yeah. So, and the Lions put up a ton of points. I mean, they put up 35 and 36 in the last 2 weeks. That's insane. So, if you bet the over, I wouldn't fault you for it, but just be safe. Take 5.5.
Yeah.
This is a game that really can just be a weird, like last week, a 35-32 type game.
Yeah.
Both teams just end up just slinging it, hoping to get ahead just for a second.
Yeah. And I think that what makes me feel really comfortable about the way that taking the Lions here is that the way that the Eagles beat the Vikings so badly was they just dominated, they controlled the clock with the run game. Obviously, Jared Goff is not going to run like that, but DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, they have the tools. That offensive line is great. They have the ability to just run the ball, manage the clock. May feel a little bit like an under, if I'm being totally honest, because that 52.5 is looking real high. But I'm sticking with the Lions +5.5. We're breaking out the brooms again because that's another sweep. Ooh, baby! I almost L-worded that. I thought about it. It hit me. It hit me good, but I didn't want to lock against my lock last week, even though that lock last week lost.
Mm-hmm. That's fair.
Yeah, that didn't make sense, but it did my noggin. The Commanders are at home. They're +6.5 against the Eagles, who we were just talking about. Total here is 49.5. Another team that's putting up a ton of points is the Commanders. Carson Wentz has been slinging it around the field, but still likes to throw. Still likes to have his turnovers. Is 6.5 too many points for this team that we were just talking up?
It is, but also the total is now down to 47.5.
47.
Ooh, maybe changing my answer then.
Oof. Man, these lines are, I know it is early, but
I'm going to go ahead and take the over.
yeah, locking
Yes,
it in.
40
Sorry.
Yeah,
locking
watch
in
it.
your decision.
I'm latching it in.
Latch.
Yeah, the Eagles are one of the most potent offenses that are in the league right now. They're putting up points like crazy. I think, if anything, the Eagles get up really early, and then the Commanders have to throw. And I think they have the weapons, the big three from the Big Ten, as I'm iconically naming them.
Love it.
Are able to put up points. Only 48 points is all you need. The Eagles could be up. This could be a 31-17 game.
Good.
And you go to bed and you win.
Yeah.
31-17, book it.
You heard it here first. I got to write that down. 31-17.
Write it down. One of them's going to hit.
One of these
You were
days.
really close last week, the Falcons. I think you were only like
Was
4
I?
points off.
I wrote it down. Did I put it down?
Last week you did.
You had Chiefs Cardinals at 4. Oh wait, at 40.
No, it was Falcons. You're looking at the wrong game.
Oh, I don't know.
Charlie predicted Falcons. Yeah, Falcons Rams to be 31-23, and I'm pretty sure that final score was 31-27.
Are you not entertained?
You're not entertained. 31-17. You heard it here first. JB, are you changing what you wrote down in the Magic Excel sheet?
Yeah, I'm big on the Eagles this year. I've talked up how much I do like the Eagles this year, but now that it's dropped 2 more points, I'm switching my answer to the over. If you want to take Eagles 6.5, feel free. I still think that's a good bet, but with the number dipping, Carson Wentz still slings that thing. And they keep getting touchdowns as receivers.
I don't want. I wonder what the payout would be for Eagles money line and parlaying that with Commanders plus 6.5, because that's kind of what I want to do. I think that 6.5 is too many points.
Coward.
Plus 325.
That's actually not bad for two things.
Eagles money line and Commanders plus 6.5. Yeah, plus 325 odds.
I think that's not terrible. I might actually end up doing that. I don't want to take another sweep because we're agreeing too much today, but we're here to be right. And now that line keeps dropping, I think the 47.5 is the move. I think you have to take that over. You can't look me in the eyes and tell me that is not a really good bet. We talked about Wentz thrown all over the field. The Eagles are putting up points at will. I think that's just too easy. You can't walk away from that over. I hate overs. I hate taking totals in general because it's just the flow of the game that day could just not be it, and then you're screwed from the first quarter. But that number is just staring me in my eyes and just saying you got to take it. Take me home, and I'll take you home, baby.
All right, let's move on from that. Holy!
I don't know where I went there. What happened? The Titans are plus 2.5 against the Raiders.
Both these teams disgust me.
I was going to say this is
the one I didn't like right in one. I was just like, both these teams are disgusting to me. I don't know what to feel about these two teams.
Disgusting!
Disgusting. We've been bamboozled, hoodwinked, led astray, run amok.
No.
We were told the Raiders and the Titans were supposed to be good. Titans were the number 1 seed last year, if we remember correctly.
Yeah, because Derrick Henry's on a freaking tear. And they had A.J. Brown to occupy. They couldn't stack the box because you had to have somebody out there, at least a safety and a corner.
Exactly correct. They lost everything when they lost A.J. Brown. They thought, we'll just get Treylon Burks in here, and he's basically the same player. No.
Yeah, right.
So Titans plus 2.5, 46.5 is the total here. Mm-hmm. The Titans are on my do not bet list. I will not touch the Titans for the rest of the season. I think if that was not the worst division in the NFL, they would have a top 3 pick.
The Jags have a real claim to win the division. I'm just saying.
I think they're in first place in that division right now.
I think
because the ties fuck everything up, but they're 1-1 because they're 1-1. Then the two teams that are 0-1-1. I don't know. Math is stupid. I'm taking the Raiders here. The Raiders need a bounce back. The Raiders need a get right game. This Titans team is dead to me until further notice. I said it at the start of the season. I think Derrick Henry's done. I think the juice is no longer worth the squeeze with Derrick Henry. The injuries, the touches, the fact that there's no longer a passing game to take any sort of pressure off of him.
I still want to say the injury,
whatever. But it was a fun ride. It's time to put it in the garage.
I think you're a little too quick with it. I still think you're a little bit too quick to pull that trigger.
So are you gonna take the Titans here?
No, I'm still taking the Raiders.
Not that quick, huh?
Because I just think they're the better team, and I will take the better team with getting less than a field goal. I don't feel good about it. I'm not going to bet it. I'm staying as far away from this game as possible.
Mr. Hartz.
Lock it up.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
The Raiders have eluded me 2 weeks in a row. They're my lock week 1. They should have won.
Going back to the well.
They should have covered against the Chargers. Week 1, we'll give them a pass. Week 2, overtime. They had the game won. Kyler Murray pulled a rabbit out of his little baby child-sized hat. They won that game fair and square. The Raiders won that game. There is no team that is hungrier for a win than the Vegas Raiders. They are the best 0-2 team in football, not the Bengals. It is the Raiders.
Ooh.
I feel so good about this, I might risk an appendage.
Oh.
I might offer to, like, I don't know, take like a little bit of my thumb off.
Oh yeah, little pinky bet action. Huh?
I didn't want to steal it, but
Yeah.
I might. That's how I feel about it.
That's
2.5, and the Titans are actively bad. The receivers are horrific. Derrick Henry can't do anything or hasn't done anything. Their defense is poor. Tell me why. Why I shouldn't.
Derrick Henry averaged 1.9 yards per carry last week.
Come on.
Yesterday, not last week. Yesterday.
What do we
just
need?
Happened.
What are we doing here? Don't even think about
Yeah.
it. Minus 2.5. Get it before it moves.
Yeah, seriously, get it before it moves because it's going to move. I have no doubt in my mind that this gets to 3 before the end of the week.
And this will be 3 in a row. If the Raiders don't cover this week, I will stop. I will never lock them for as long as the season is active.
Yeah, for the rest of the
Rest of the
14
season,
weeks.
yes.
Yuck.
They're due for one.
They have to win something, right? I mean, this is do or die for the Raiders too. I think is the other part is that
In that division, you're
in that
right.
division you can't go 0-3. You're absolutely dead in the water if you're 0-3. The Titans theoretically could lose the next 6 games and still win the division. Could win the AFC South because that is such a bad division. But yeah, I'm on the Raiders here. I feel good about it. I had thought about L-wording it, but I think I L-worded them in week. Did you lock them last week?
I did.
And then I locked them. No, I locked the Panthers week 1. I thought we had them locked every week, but that's not the case. Mm-hmm. Raiders. I'm not pressing the button. We're sweeping. This feels dirty again. The Bears are 2.5-point favorites. They should never be favorites. 2.5-point favorites at home against the Texans. The total here is 40.5. This is still a 1 o'clock game, right? Because I don't want this to be on my TV for any longer.
This is a 1 o'clock game.
This needs to be not on my TV.
I have a real question. Is it bad that I don't think I could name a Houston Texans wide receiver that's on the roster? Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks.
Okay, other than him, I don't think I could. Their offense, I don't know anybody. Like they're a bunch of no-name. Like the person I know, top of my head from the Texans is Lovie Smith.
The head coach.
That's it.
I mean, I know it's like obviously we talk about Dameon Pierce, Nico Collins is the wide receiver.
God, he bamboozled me too. They said he's gonna be the guy. I drafted him in like 2 leagues, and he has got like 6 carries a game.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened there.
You got more carries this week.
Yeah, but still not good.
It wasn't great.
No.
I thought I was getting a steal, RB1.
Me too.
On a team that needs consistency more than anything. They're going to run the ball. They're going to be conservative. They're going to be consistent. I'm mad.
Yeah, that team sucks. You also know Davis Mills. You know he's a quarterback.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Neck.
The neck.
The Bears, last 5 times they were favored, they're 4-1 against the spread when they're favored.
That doesn't sound right.
They're just never favored.
Fair.
I think it's week 17 they were
Is
favored.
Jay Cutler on this team at this time?
This goes back to 2022. They were favored January 2nd of 2022 against the Giants, against Detroit, against Detroit again, against Cincinnati back in 2021, and then once more against Jacksonville. So yeah, not great. The under has also hit in the last 4 games they've been favored as well. So maybe you take the under here. Will somebody make a pick in this game because this is gross. I want to get off this as quick as possible.
There is only one team that I've been right on twice so far, both weeks. And it is the Houston Texans covering.
So
I don't understand why, but I'm going to keep riding it while it's hot. I even found the stat to help back my claim. Since 2018, road dogs with a total of under 42 are 88, 55, and 4, which is 60%.
Where did you find that stat?
Action Network.
Oh, okay, Action Network. Okay, nice.
I have sources.
Nice.
Big J journalist.
He definitely just pulled that out of his ass, but okay, Action Network. Well, okay, I see you.
So I'm going with Action Network. I'm going with the only team that has been right for me twice. I'm going with the Houston Texans.
Charlie, you go.
The Bears. The Bears. Purely because I know more of the people on their team. Like, that's not a good reason, but it's a reason nonetheless. The Houston Texans aren't good. They tied the Colts, and then what happened? What did they do last week?
They lost to.
They covered against the Broncos.
Oh, great! Who also suck now?
They kind of do stink.
The Bears, at least they won. They
later.
beat a very good Niners team week 1.
Yeah, in the rain.
Yeah, okay, the rain. It was raining for them too. The rain didn't stop when they had the ball.
I don't know. I wasn't there. Could have.
Yeah, you're right. But I'll take the Bears. I think they can get it done. It'll be like, the under would be juicy too, but I'm not taking any unders this year.
Okay, yeah.
So
under, yeah.
20 to 12.
Ooh, 20
The Texans put up 4 field goals, and the Bears somehow miss an extra point or something, and 2 tugs and 2 field goals for the Bears.
Heard it here first. I'm going to take the Bears as well, actually. I think that this is going to be the opportunity for Justin Fields to kind of gain some respect back. Obviously, he didn't play well in the first week. Then he went and had 11 attempts. He was 7 for 11 last week.
You're walking a fine line, brother.
I knew it was coming, but it's the truth.
You can't blame him for the coach's play calls.
Yeah,
he didn't want to throw it 11 times.
That's fair. That's very true. I think this is a good game for him to get right, for that team to get right and try and save some face. Let's talk about that for a quick second. Did we see his comment, Justin Fields' comment about it matters to us more than the fans?
Yeah, he sucks at the podium. He said some questionable stuff at the podium.
He's not great. I don't totally
Nobody's
disagree.
media trained my man at all.
I don't totally disagree with him that hey, we're the ones that that put in the work. It hurts us more.
Yeah.
But from the bigger picture, if you're a lifelong Bears fan,
yeah, you're probably hey, what's that supposed to mean?
Yeah. Well, and it's not like this is the Patriots where it's we're winning all the time. They've had a lifetime of misery. They're almost like the Bills where they just they went to that one Super Bowl with Urlacher.
Mm-hmm.
And that was it. And they lost to the Seahawks, I think. Nope, that's not right. That's whatever. But they've had a pit of misery. So I thought it was a weird thing to say. You're right. He needs to get some sort of some PR folks on his side because he does not handle himself well after these losses.
Get right game. He'll be all right.
I agree. I'm taking the Bears.
I don't think bad teams get right games. I'm just saying.
They are not bad.
Bad teams
they are bad.
They're
I
not.
didn't say
They're
anything about the quarterback.
rebuilding. They're rebuilding.
Oh wait, don't you guys have a case bet? What's going on with the case bet?
Oh no, that's
That's
Jaguars.
the Jaguars.
6.5.
Unfortunately,
Yeah,
Okay.
got the first win for the Jags.
they're murdering.
Six more wins to go.
Are they 2-0?
No,
they're
just
1-1.
one.
Oh, I thought they were 2-0.
No.
Mm-mm.
Thank God.
That's in 2 games. Let's talk about the Bengals being plus 4.5 point favorites at home against the Bengals. The Jets are just making their way through the AFC North, I guess. The total here is 45.5. Do the Bengals get a get right game?
Absolutely. I'm surprised that it's only 4.5.
Yeah, I got to go with the Bengals here too.
They need one.
They're
bad.
too good. They're too good, not to for this to keep happening to them. And now they're going up against the worst pass rush that they'll see. Even within the last couple weeks, they had Micah Parsons, who's one of the best pass rushers in the league. Then week 1, they had I can't remember who the Bengals played week 1.
Oh, you don't remember who it was?
Oh yeah, it was us.
The Lurs,
Forgot.
baby.
But yeah, still you have T.J. Watt, Alex
Embarrassing.
Highsmith. This will
Almost
be
vomited on this table.
it will be the easiest pass rush that he will go against this year. So I think this is truly the opportunity for the get right game.
Can we set our own line for how many sacks they will be for the Jets? Because he's been sacked 13 times. Joe Burrow has this year.
Oh my God,
13 in
so
2
bad.
games. He got sacked 52 times all last season, which was still the most in the NFL.
Yeah.
He's on pace for 115 sacks.
I saw that's got to be a prop. It's probably not up yet. But
Yeah, but let's make one for us. What do you think? I'm thinking over under 2.5.
Over.
over. I was gonna say 3.
You think over?
Yeah.
Over.
3 is my number, I think. So I'll take over 2.5.
They're not going to get up to crazy numbers, but I think 3 is still manageable with that. How bad that offensive line is.
If they sack him 4 times, that'll be sick.
Yeah, sacks over 2.5. Regardless how many times they sack him, this is the get right game.
You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
Close to doing that too.
Running out of options here, but I think the 4.5. It's a weird number. It could be 4.5. It could be 5.5. It doesn't really matter. It's more than 3. It's less than 7. It's the Jets. The Jets are out of gas. That's it. That's all I can say. Gas prices have gone up. There's nothing left in the tank after that victory last week. I do not think that Joe Flacco is going to lead them to another victory. So Bengals need to get right. They need to get their head on straight. This is a great time to do it. I'm locking them up. Take it home.
This game sucks too.
Yeah.
For betting. It's cool to watch, but I'm scared to bet it.
Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's going to be scary to watch too. The Chargers are -7 at home against the Jaguars. The total here is 47.5. I'm scared of his ribs. I'm just going to say it.
It's not a bad take.
I mean, he looked like he was dying. I mean,
it looked bad.
It's really hard to breathe with your ribs hurt.
I guess, yeah. I guess that would be an attribution to death. But I'm scared taking -7 here. I'm going to be totally honest. This team is great, but he's one awkward sack away from getting sacked. I think. I don't know how bad it is or what the timeline is for an injury like that to get healed, but luckily I guess they had a mini bye week. But I'm still scared of this team. I'm not sure what I want here, so I'm going to ask Charlie what his feelings are here.
I'm thinking about taking the over.
Ooh,
I'm thinking about it. I want to know a lot of prop bets aren't available just yet, but I want to know what the over-under would be for the Chargers team score, because that might be a little bit something I might want to bet on.
You think it might be a little low because of the injury?
Yeah, and I would definitely take, well, depending on what it is, I would take the over.
Mm-hmm.
I think this game, I'm assuming that they're going to be up early. Maybe they get a couple quick touchdowns in the first half. They start running the ball with Eckler, try to bleed that clock. The Jags can... Their offense is enough. I mean, they can definitely put up some points. So I don't think it's out of the question for this to be a 51, 52-point final total.
So over. Final answer.
Yeah, I don't like 7. 7 is a clunky. I wish there was 6.5, but
yeah,
I'll take the over.
Over 47.5, I think is a good bet. JB.
I'm going with the Chargers here. I just think they're a much better team. 7's a lot, though. I know it's a lot, but it's hard for me to pull against the Chargers. You know how much I love my Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers. If it bites me, it bites me. If he cries, he cries.
If he cries, he cries. I've said 3 different things in my head, and none of them have felt right. I'm going to take the under, because that's the one thing that I didn't say in my head, that none of it feels right, but... Let's not forget how good this Chargers defense actually is, and they're still healthy.
J.C. Jackson's getting healthier. Khalil Mack and Joey Bosa, are still an outrageous pass rush.
Asante Samuel still looking really good.
Derwin James is making a case to remember, hey guys, I got paid the highest as a safety for a reason.
Yep.
I'm healthy, I'm a monster, an absolute disgusting football player.
I'm taking the under here. The Jaguars going from the East Coast to the West Coast. I don't know if it's usually West to East is bad, I guess, but I'm gonna pretend that it's this way. Okay. Playing in my narrative, I'm taking the under here, 47.5. I'm scared. I don't know if the Jaguars are gonna put up any points.
We'll see.
We are in direct competition, but I hope both teams have fun.
Yes. Let's have a good time. No one gets hurt.
The Seahawks are 1.5-point favorites at home against the Falcons. This total here is 41.5. Ugh, this is a 4:00 game too, isn't it?
It is.
Fuck. Road dogs are 9-6 this season, JB.
Mm-hmm.
Taking a road dog here.
I love the Falcons on the road this week, actually.
Love them.
Even
in Seattle.
Even in Seattle. I still am calling, that first week is an absolute storybook. Russell coming into town against the old team and them beating every single odds. Not a single person picked the Seahawks to win that game. That's a storybook ending if I do. Last week they put up 7 points. Like, that is more realistic what I think that team is. And what I do like is I'm actually interested in what the Falcons are right now. Falcons have a mobile quarterback, a rookie, like 6'5" rookie wide receiver who is producing immediately. I know Kyle Pitts hasn't done a whole lot, but he is an absolute like menace that you have to account for in your game plan every single time. And also, I wouldn't hate the over here just because both these defense, terrible. Dog ass, like both of them. But I really like the Falcons here. I just think they're a better team. I'm probably even just going to bet straight up money line on this game.
You stole my line here in that I'm taking the over. 41.5 is way too low. The Falcons are putting up 20 to 25 points every week or so far. That offense seems to really be moving. The Seahawks, yes, went up and down. That was probably one of the tougher matchups. They only put up a touchdown against a divisional opponent that has a really good defense. They're going to bounce back here. 41.5 is too low here. I'm going to take the over.
I think you guys talked me into taking the over. I was going to take the Falcons.
Ooh, I also like the Falcons here too, though. For the record,
Big fan of the Falcons this week.
It is really low.
Really, really low.
I'll ride with the boys. Over 41.5.
Over.
I want to say this about Kyle Pitts. He sucks. He's the 35th ranked tight end according to Pro Football Focus through first 2 weeks. Ooh. Just so you know, there's only 32 teams in the whole league.
This is true.
So that means
Thanks for pointing that
two
out.
backups are rated better than him, and he's supposed to be this like the guy.
Yeah, I mean he's also basically a wide receiver, but they're not throwing the ball. I'll tell you what, we talked about this a little bit, but I really like the way that the Falcons are playing offense. I think that they're being creative in the vein of the same way that the Eagles are. They're obviously not that good, but I'm proud of the way that they have adjusted from having that statue Matt Ryan at quarterback to now having somebody very mobile like Marcus Mariota. Mm-hmm. So they're really playing his strengths, and I commend them for that.
It's not often that I am baffled by a spread or a total for a game, but this Green Bay Tampa game, I'm like, what the hell?
Really?
41.5?
Neither of these offenses have looked good. So we're jumping ahead, but Buccaneers -2.5 here against the Packers. 41.5 is the total.
It's 1.5 now, just so you know.
It's 1.5.
Yes, it has moved.
This
Bucks -1.5 to clarify.
Yeah, Bucks -1.5. Yeah, -1.5. This 41.5 does seem low, but the Packers have not put up. I don't think the Packers have put up 41 points on their own this season, and neither have the Buccaneers.
And they don't have Mike Evans this week.
Yes, the good point. 1 game suspension. So they are appealing, but as it stands now, he will not be in uniform. It looks like probably no Godwin again, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Godwin's going to be there. It's going to be maybe Julio, Russell Gage,
Cole Beasley.
Scotty Miller.
Cole Beasley.
Scotty Miller.
Cole Beasley.
Look out.
Scoots.
I did put a waiver claim in for Cole Beasley today.
Yeah, that feels dirty. That's not great.
You never know.
Yeah, I think that. Well, this is exactly what it is. These are two quarterbacks that don't have good wide receivers, so that's probably why the total's so low. But these two teams also have really good running backs that are looking pretty good. So, have you talked yourself into the over already?
Oh yeah, I already wrote it down. Once it's written down, that's it.
Oh, that's it. It's over.
Well, no, but
it is over, but it's not.
I
over.
just can't. I just can't fathom on my head the lowest total of the week. Like one of the lowest totals of the week is in an Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady matchup. Like that doesn't compute. And I know all the reasons. Like Aaron Rodgers is lacking receivers. All of Brady's ones are hurt or suspended. But I can't just sit there with 41. Like this is Brady versus Aaron Rodgers. Like two of the best quarterbacks I've seen in my lifetime, and I'm only getting 41.5. I have to take that.
You're addicted to it. I can't really blame you here because I'm trying to find a stat that makes me want to take one of these two teams, and I just can't do it. I really like the running backs and how that they played the game this week. The Packers did because that was what they needed. They leaned on the running backs. They put it in the air. They did everything they could to help Aaron Rodgers. But I guess I'm gonna take the over too. I don't feel super strongly either way about the spread. And just what you said, these guys are smart enough to get us over 41.5 points. So Let's just take the over.
If you don't trust Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers each to get you 20 points, I don't care who the receivers are. Brady had dog shit receivers for years in New England and put up crazy numbers. Yeah. If anyone can do it, it's these two idiots. 20-20 at the end of the game, last second field goal either way for the win.
I love it. That is probably like our 7th sweep of the night.
This will be an interesting one to look back at next week.
Yeah. Well, it's just like what we said. Week 1, you've kind of got your preseason thoughts. Then week 2, everything is a mush, and now it's like I feel like we
got some data. We got some trends.
I feel like I'm seeing the board very clearly, but that makes me feel even more scared because like some of these seem too easy and too obvious. So
before I bet anything, I'm definitely going to check Pickett to see where all the money is.
Yes, good call. That's a really good call. It's very smart of you. Be sure to check out Pickett as we start to. We have one more 4 o'clock game, but Pickett here, Pikkit. If you're like me and Charlie and JB, you probably have. How many apps do you have on your phone that you can gamble on? I have FanDuel, I have Barstool, I have DraftKings, I have BetMGM. I think those are the only 4 I have right now.
I think I only have 3. I only use 1 though.
Yeah, but you have them. And
you
have money in all of them.
I do.
And if you were smart and used Pickett like I did, you'd be able to find the best lines in each game because we use transparency. We use FanDuel usually when we're talking about these spreads. But I bet if you want to take the Packers, you can probably find it on Pickett. You can find that one of those apps hasn't moved yet. It's still a 2.5. You can get that extra point and feel really good about it. If you use promo code JETBETS, you get a free roll of the dice. You'll get free money. They will Venmo you directly. It's somewhere between $3 and $100. I've seen people get $3. I've seen people get $25. Could be you. Use promo code JETBETS, get free money, get some betting data, get some trends, and win some money. The Cardinals. This is the last 4 o'clock game, right?
Mm-hmm.
+4 against the Rams. The total here is 50.5.
It's down to 3.5 for the spread,
3.5
and 49.5 for the total.
Ooh, something's going on here. So 3.5, and what was the
49.5.
49.5. So a half point both ways. Actually, it's a full point because it was at 50.5. I kind of hate all this.
There's one bet I like, and it's the over.
Why?
Competitive matchup, 2 teams in the same division, and the Cardinals just keep putting up points. They even when you think they're not doing super well, they're playing games late. I think that's back-to-back weeks of them putting up at least 20 points. I still think week 1 Rams were a little bit kind of fugazi. I think it's a little bit. They're going to be a little bit closer to that Super Bowl thing. I still think the offensive line is definitely a concern, but I think this is going to be a shootout. I think this is going to be a game. I think Cardinals play close. And I think a lot of people are seeing that by the Cardinals spread starting to shrink.
Charlie, what are you thinking?
I love the Rams in general, not for the game. I hate the Cardinals because they had lost me money last week. I think there's something to, like, now everyone's on the Cardinals train. They, a thriller. They beat the Raiders in Vegas. Kyler Murray's playing unbelievable. They might be a little bit overvalued here at 3.5, in my opinion. Ooh. I think they might be. I love the over by JB, though, too. I would maybe sprinkle that. But I am going to go with -3.5 for the Rams. Partly out of spite. F you.
There's a little spite.
F you. But also, this is a get-right week for a lot of teams. The Rams got to get back to being the Rams. And what better place than divisional rival, put them in their place, show them who daddy is.
It's funny that you mentioned the who daddy is because the last 10 matchups between these two teams, the Rams are 9-1, straight up. How are they against the spread? Thank you for asking, JB. The Rams are 8-1-1 against the spread in their last 10 matchups against Arizona. Call McVay daddy. I'm taking -3.5 here. They've had their number. I tried to zig when everybody else zagged last week. It helped in some spots and hurt in the other spots. This is one that is just whatever it is, the Rams know how to beat Kyler Murray. They know how to beat the Cardinals. The hook scares me. Hand up. I don't love the hook, but this Cardinals defense lost Chandler Jones. The pass rush isn't great. That's what we're worried about most when we're thinking about the Rams. So I am feeling good about Rams minus 3.5 here. Don't hate the over either, but riding Rams officially.
The 78% of the money is on Arizona minus 3.5.
Oof.
But 63% of the bets are on the Rams.
That always confuses me. So
The big bettors are betting
the
Cardinals.
So that's when you would think about the sharps versus the public.
Right.
Yeah.
So the sharps are on the Cardinals.
It is still very early.
It is still very early.
Yeah, public is towards the Rams. The people who do this for their livelihood are going with the Cardinals.
Yeah.
I bet you if it moves to 3 or 2.5, it goes.
Right. It'll go the whole other way.
That hook.
It'll flip flop. Are you ready to put on your boxing gloves?
I sleep with them on.
I would love to see that. All right. Let's start off with Sunday night fights.
This one sucks too. We can't get a good matchup to save our lives.
Trey Lance would have been
This
good
one
here, but
sucks, I guess.
would have been better.
Welcome to another edition of Sunday Night Fights. In the red corner, standing 6 feet 2 inches tall, weighing in at 225 pounds, fighting out of Arlington Heights, Illinois, by way of Eastern Illinois University, James Jimmy G. Garoppolo. In the blue corner, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall, weighing in at 215 pounds, fighting out of Cincinnati, Ohio.
What?
By way of Wisconsin University, Russell Danger Russ Wilson.
Boo.
I still like Russ.
Jimmy G beats the happy piss out of Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is a soft nerd.
I was going to say dork.
Yeah.
The man
dork.
is true definition
He might
of a
be
dork.
more of a dork than a nerd. Soft. Jimmy G's bigger. There is a knock on Jimmy G, and that's that he's too handsome.
That's what I think, though. I don't think he wants to get punched in the face, so I think he just Floyd Mayweather and just plays defense all the time.
Well, hear me out. He's from Illinois, okay, and not Chicago. He's from Illinois.
Yeah.
So Midwest kid, probably grew up, wrestling around.
Hockey fights. I bet they played hockey in Illinois.
Maybe
Yeah.
they're known for wrestling for sure more than hockey. But,
Fair. That's true.
But he is good looking, so that's a negative. Negative, good looking. Midwest kid, that's a plus.
Yeah.
Okay,
For sure.
so he's even.
Yep.
Russ is a nerd or a dork. He is 5'10", like shorter and lighter, so he's outsized. From Cincinnati, got to be a negative.
I was going to say, I think the negative for me is that there's no loyalty. Jimmy G, Illinois, went to Eastern Illinois.
Yep.
Can't help who he's drafted by. Russ is from Cincinnati, went to North Carolina State first.
Yep.
Then didn't like it, got pissy, and went to Wisconsin. No loyalty there.
Yep, and then left high and dry from
left Seattle.
From Seattle.
Yeah.
You know who would never do that?
Jimmy G.
Big Ben.
What? Big Ben?
Big Ben would
What are
never
we
do that.
talking about here?
He spent his whole career with the same team, highs and lows, although he didn't have that many lows because he was an absolute graceful Hall of Famer. Russ is, again, soft, dork, negative, no loyalty, negative, and he's a baseball guy. He still is owned by the New York Yankees. He's still in their system.
Oh, yeah?
As of 2019, he was. Everyone knows baseball players are also soft and can't fight. So
I love that too.
By a mile. I mean, this is not even close.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The only thing you got to worry about is that there might be a little bit of a glass jaw with Jimmy G. That would be my only other scare.
What is Russ? I can't even imagine him trying to throw a punch.
I can't either, for being 100%
Honestly,
honest.
You're right. Never mind. Yeah. This is gonna go first round knockout.
This is basically a slap fight at this point.
No, I think Jimmy G could throw some haymakers.
I don't know.
He could throw some haymakers. Yeah, we need to get a good Sunday night fight here going, but I think this is a resounding decision here.
Yeah, not even close.
No contest. Sunday night fights. I think the game might be just as bad. The Broncos are plus 1.5 at home. Over under here is 44.5. JB thinks that the 49ers are a better team with Jimmy G at quarterback.
Slightly.
You don't?
He's their backup quarterback. I shouldn't think that. I'm not saying I don't think that, but I shouldn't think that.
he's only like that because of like political like garbage BS reasons. If you were playing a pickup game of football, or if the team blew up, the Niners were no longer a team, and they added a new team. They were like, okay, you can pick one of these two guys to have as your quarterback. They're gonna take Jimmy.
I don't know about that.
You don't?
No, because you know how much NFL teams love tools and upside.
You know what they love more than that? Winning.
True.
He's a career 70% win rate, 68% completion percentage. He's been through it all. Was under Belichick. He knows probably a lot from his time under Brady and under Belichick.
Yeah.
He's went to a Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
He was one long throw away from winning that Super Bowl.
He has been there. He's done it. Trey Lance played not even in an FBS school. He literally played against nobodies, and they were like, yeah, he's a first-round pick that we would need to draft.
Top 5 pick, by the way.
Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of in the middle of your entire argument that I think Trey Lance is still he can be a good quarterback, and I understand the appeal for the 49ers wanting him because he brings stuff that Jimmy G can't with his legs and the ability to extend the pocket, and I believe he has a stronger arm. But Jimmy G does win, and right now all those good things that he was bringing to the offense, that Trey Lance was bringing to the offense, was not happening in those first 2 weeks. So now they're back to Jimmy Garoppolo. I think the offense is going to run better. Like, he's going to get Debo the ball more. I think Ayuk is going to have opportunities for him. This is still like a really good team. And this was my lock a million times whenever it was the 49ers +1. I was like, well, take a money line, taking all of it, just give me it all. I'm still taking the Niners at -1.5, but I think Jimmy G does help this team and does help these wide receivers get a little bit more involved, especially now that they have 2 running backs now that are down.
Yeah, I think that's a key hit on there. Is I think what's really going to help Jimmy G being there is the fact that we now have to change the offense because Trey Lance isn't, he's not as mobile as Trey Lance. So it's going to be a more traditional offense, but it's not like they have to totally rewrite everything because that's what they did last year. They had, Elijah Mitchell carrying the ball, and Jimmy G was getting creative with Debo. Ayuk was good. He was serviceable in spots. I think this defense is going to give Russ fits. They're still clearly not clicking. This is a better defense than the Texans they played last week and way better than the Seahawks they played the week before. He's going to just have fits. It's not going to be good. I'm taking the Niners here, and I'm not this. I almost L-worded this because it just seems like such a mismatch to me.
It does.
Things are not good in Denver right now.
They're literally so inefficient. I can't fathom it.
I don't understand it.
The fans are chanting the play clock because they keep getting delays
They
of
had
game.
3 delay of games. I couldn't believe it.
That was this week. They had 3 more.
Yes.
Oh my god. That's terrible.
It's so bad. Hackett's choking at the podium saying, I got to be better with my communication. He has one of the best rosters in the league, and he's tripping over his own balls. I don't know what he's doing. I'm not the only one that thinks that the Niners are a better team without Trey Lance. So does Vegas. They were 22-1 to win the Super Bowl before he got hurt. Now with Jimmy G, they're 18-1.
Wow. Okay.
That's significant. That's
that
almost
is
20%
significant.
jump.
Yeah.
I love San Francisco -1.5.
I'm so worried. We're gonna come back in a week's time, and we're all either gonna be really, really happy, or we're gonna be miserable because we have swept a lot of games.
We're at least at half at this point, right?
I'll count it as we talk about the Monday night game here, but there's a lot of sweeps happening right now. All right, JB's Cowboys are at home.
Nah, get out of here.
What? They're your Cowboys. Oh, I'm sorry, I said Cowboys.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I thought you were being a jerk.
I thought you was too.
I know, I'm not a jerk. I'm just stupid. The Giants are 2.5-point favorites at home. JB's Giants going up against the Cooper Rush-led Dallas Cowboys. The total here is 39.5.
I'm gonna say a sentence that I think I've only said once ever recording the show. I'm taking the Giants.
No, you've said that before.
I only bet on the Giants once last year. Granted, I can't recall from 2 years ago, but I know for a fact I took the Giants on the show once last season.
Wow. Okay, that's fair. What makes you feel good? Because you think Richie James is a good wide receiver now?
Because they keep winning. Because they just keep winning. I can't fathom it. I called bullshit on the game last week. I don't know how they pulled that win against Cincy. I don't think the Cowboys are a very good team right now. I'm sticking by it. This is more anti-Cowboys than it is me being pro-Giants.
Is Cooper Rush the new face of the franchise? People are asking.
He's a bum. He's a nobody.
He beat the AFC champs last week.
Excuse me, my Pittsburghese, but he's a jag.
He's a jag. Charlie.
I want the Dallas, and I want the points. I think it's going to be close. I think both these teams, the Giants are due for a fall. Like, again, same with your case, Brian, about the Bills. Like, they're not going 17-0. The Giants damn sure are not going 17-0. The Cowboys are riding high off of a big win. They should have definitely lost against the Bengals. Mm-hmm. Micah Parsons is going to have approximately 9.5 sacks, maybe 10.5.
Ooh.
He's going to break the record for sacks in a game.
That'd be sick. That'd be cool.
Write that down. No. But, yeah, Cowboys 2.5. They looked good. Giants are due for a smack in the face and back to reality.
I'm going to take the over here. Over 39.5.
Ugh.
The Cowboys...
Over.
I'm taking the over, boys.
We just can't sweep.
No. Well, you guys were on different sides anyway.
That's true.
No, I'm taking the over here. I think 39.5. I think Saquon's going to run all over the place here. I think this is a get right. You're right. I think it's a get right for the Cowboys. So I think we're going to see Zeke get some action here. I think there's going to be a lot of run on the ground, but I think there's going to be some big gaping holes there. 39.5 is low. That's, we talked about 20-20 hits that over. They can tie, and I'll be happy. I wish. Could we flex this out and put the Bills-Dolphins on Monday night instead?
I'd be okay with this if we're being 100% honest.
We should be able, as a country, we can vote on who our president should be. We should be able to vote on the Monday night game, too. I'm just going to say it.
I don't hate that if we're being 100% honest.
I mean, I know they have the flex options later in the season, but we should be able to vote on it at least once a year. Just make it better for us, because this is not what I want to watch on Monday night. But we'll work on that petition later. I'll put that petition out at JetBetsGamble if you follow us on Twitter. In case you're wondering, we had exactly 8 sweeps today. Half the games we all agreed on.
We're going to be geniuses or idiots.
Yeah, we'll see.
There's going to be a lot going on.
I had a feeling this was going to happen. I was looking at these lines. I'm like, a lot of these seem easy.
Yeah, I feel like anytime that feels easy.
Yeah, that's when we get screwed.
Yep, so I'm very scared, but we're going to win a lot of money.
But I feel confident in these bets, damn it.
Well, let's see what you feel the most confident in. Let's finish out our episode for week 3 here with our parlay picks.
Parlay. Parsnip, sleep, partner. Parlay? That's the one. Parlay.
Every time we play that and he goes the parlay thing, I think of Jonah Hill in The Wolf of Wall Street when he's on Quaaludes. He's just going super crazy and just slurring his words all over the place.
That was the one thing that popped up in me. It's oh, that was a funny thing. That's a different kind of parlay, but and it's a nice little break. It lets us kind of recap, because I know I don't write my picks down ahead of time. I just kind of go wherever God takes me. So it gives me 30 seconds to figure out what the fuck's going on with my picks. So let's start with JB, as is tradition.
All right. Wasn't super hot last week. Did the good old Ofer, but we're going to get him back this week.
Water finds its level. That means you're going 3-0 this week, or 4-0.
You bet your ass it does. So this week for my 4 alternately known as the Fofa Show.
4!
I have my lock of the week, which is the Ravens -3. I think this is an absolute mismatch. I don't care that they're on the road. I don't care about Belichick or Foxborough that much anymore. I think the Ravens come and stomp the Patriots. I think I might have taken this game at 7 if we're being honest.
Ooh.
I'm going with the 49ers -1.5. I think I do not trust Denver within the life of me. They're literally. I haven't seen this team that looks so good on paper be so insignificant, inefficient, whatever you want to call it. I'm going with the 49ers. The Falcons +1.5. I'm probably just going to be taking the money line on this. I think the Falcons are a better team. and with better weapons than the Seahawks. Now my last one, Bills minus 5.5. Again, I'm betting on the Bills till further notice.
Niners minus 1.5, Bills minus 5.5, Falcons plus 1.5, Ravens minus 3. I will go next. I did not include my lock here since we're actually going to start tracking these bets. So separately, I'm going to try and avoid my lock here because you already know I'm going to throw money on the lock. I'm going to take the Lions plus 5.5. I think that's a lot of points against a team or for a team that's kind of been struggling, coming off a short week. Lions are well rested and have been putting up points. Ravens minus 3, just what JB said. It's kind of a head scratcher that feels like it's too easy. Raiders minus 2.5. Titans are on my shit list, and they're going to continue to do so. And then the Falcons Seahawks over. I think that the total is way too low at 41.5. Give me the over.
I have a parlay, but it includes my lock. So should I swap one in?
No, there's no rules against it.
Okay, good, because I'm taking it. Raiders minus 2.5. Baltimore Ravens minus 3. Cincinnati Bengals 4.5. And I'm already betting on the Steelers plus 4.5. But it's not in the parlay, but it is what I'm betting.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'm also going to probably put money on the Chiefs minus 6.5.
So your official parlay will be Raiders, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs?
No, only 3. 3 legs.
Oh, only 3. Okay. Ravens,
Raiders, Bengals.
RRB.
Yes.
Got it. Could have been R. Nope, never mind. All right. We got some bouncing back to do here, boys.
Yeah, we do.
I think we're seeing the board clearly. I'm still scared because I don't know if we've ever had.
Rain is gone.
I don't know if we've ever had this many sweeps before. We'll find out if that bodes well for us or not next week. Be sure to follow us on Twitter at JetBetsGamble. If you like YouTube content, you might be listening to this on YouTube because the podcasts are going up on YouTube as well. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, tell us everything. Tell us how handsome we are. Tell us how dumb we are. It doesn't matter. Anything there would help. We'll be tweeting a bunch. Check out Pickett as well. And week 3 is here almost. Let's get you ready for it, and let's go win some fucking money.